Hi, Editing Ashley here. I am so sorry for everybody that has already seen this, but I am re-uploading this video because I forgot to add a minor detail while I was editing. The last time I did fluid nail art was almost 2 years ago. I wanted to keep the space theme going, and I figured since I already did galaxy nails, I could still do something totally space inspired. I wanted something very vibrant and bright, and since summertime is right around the corner, the sun is my inspiration for this video. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name's Ashley, I do nail art, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you these hotter than the sun flame nails. Just throwing in a quick little disclaimer, not every decal that I make is ever going to look the exact same. I always redo a fingernail for my videos, so please don't ever feel like you're being clickbaited by my thumbnails. As a backstory, these nails have been in the works for quite some time. I took a look back at my old videos and I was trying to figure out what exactly I haven't done in a really long time. I haven't done a dry or a drag marble, still considering it, but I wanted something vibrant and pretty for the summertime. As always with starting any nail art, I always like to apply a coat of base coat just to prevent staining and chipping. Here I'm using OPI's Natural Nail Base Coat. Once I let my base coat completely dry, I applied a coat of my favorite white nail polish. This is Whiteout from Rika. Side note, this is an indie brand polish and her site has been shut down for over a year now, so I think it's safe to say that I'm gonna have to find a new favorite indie white nail polish. I was going to use Celtic Sun for this, but since I couldn't find my bottle, I just used what I had on hand, so I used Light of Day and 110 Degrees from Pipe Dream Polish, which are both sadly discontinued. The colors that I used are in order, by the way, so the next color is Son of a Peach from China Glaze, Red Rum from Sinful Colors, and White from the Spotted Collection from Dance Legend. Before I actually apply any nail art to my nails, I always just kind of go through like a dry run, as I call it, just so I can play around with color combinations, see what works and see what doesn't, but unfortunately this one didn't make the cut. If you've been with me for a while, you would know how I do fluid nail art on this channel, but if this is your first time here, I will leave a link down below so this way you get an idea of how exactly I do my fluid nail art. Just as a quick little side note, I didn't fast forward any of these parts just because I want you to be able to see what I'm actually doing. When it comes to fluid nail art, everybody has their own personal preference of how they like to approach doing fluid nail art. For me personally, I don't care to work on silicone mats just because I find it way harder to control where the polish is actually going. But when I'm working on a flat surface, such as a game cover or a DVD case cover, it's much easier for me to control, so I'm going to insert a picture of what exactly I'm referring to. Hopefully this makes more sense now. Visually, what you are seeing is an empty DVD case. The plastic on top of the paper inserts is what I use to make my decals. Okay, so hopefully that makes more sense now and kind of clears up any confusion. As for how much polish I'm actually applying, I really can't answer that because I just eyeball it. I mean, the more I apply, the bigger decal I'm going to have, obviously, and if your nails are longer, the more polish you're going to need to make this happen, so just eyeball it, honestly. Once I had applied enough polish that I thought I was going to need, I literally picked up my case and started shaking the hell out of it and smacking it around because that's how I'm able to get the cells. Now, this thing kind of had a mind of its own, and I know the reason why. It's actually from that Dance Legend polish. It was such a runny consistency when I was working with it, and it was super thin, and it just wanted to run all over the place, so I kind of just let it flow with the other polishes the way that I kind of wanted to, but still smacking it around here and there. You want to give your decals time to completely dry. I let mine set for about 3 to 4 hours or so. When it comes to applying decals or doing nail art stamping, I always like to make sure I have some kind of tacky base, so this is where Yellow Stopper comes in. Most people don't know this, but Yellow Stopper is supposed to be a top coat, but it actually works better as a peel-off base coat, especially for those glitter polishes that we love applying but hate removing. I picked up my decal with a water marble tool and a pair of tweezers, and I just carefully pressed it down onto my nail, making sure that I'm not smudging it or pressing too hard, since that polish underneath is going to be kind of wet. It looks a little ridiculous now, I'm sure, but I promise you it's going to turn out nice. I always like to use a cuticle pusher when it comes to decals, just so the cuticle pusher helps reinforce that decal to my nail a little bit better. Now, with all that excess hanging over my nail, I just took a very small pair of scissors without cutting my skin, carefully cutting off all that excess that I don't need. This in the long run is going to help with the cleanup process. I could have used a nail file, but honestly, I don't find nail files that efficient for removing excess decals. And speaking of cleaning up, I always like to clean up with a e.l.f. concealer brush dipped in some acetone. You can find these brushes in the makeup aisle. These little brushes are just really great for cleaning up the cuticle area and just making sure that everything looks nice and neat. Not only are these brushes great for cleaning up the cuticle areas, but it's also just great for cleaning up in general, because I notice that whenever I make decals, there's always a lot of excess that tends to hang over, especially around the sidewalls and the free edge. So it's best to just take a little brush dipped in some acetone and try and melt that excess off. When cleaning up, I always like to make sure that I don't neglect underneath the free edge as well, just because there's some excess that hangs under there as well. After I finish cleaning up my nails, I always like to seal in my manicures with a good thick top coat, so I like to use Super Chic Lacquer's Liquid Marble Top Coat. When it comes to top coating my nail, I always like to make sure that I get a thick bead onto that brush, making sure that I am floating the brush completely over my entire nail, including my sides, as well as capping my free edge. Alright, well that is the end of this video. I thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful at all, you like what you see, you like what you saw, drop a like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, comment down below, let me know what you thought, share with a friend that you think would be interested in this, and until then, I will see you in my next video.